Hello everybody, Terry back again with another video, and today's video is going to be about to talk about, of course, Hurkacz, his biggest victory of his career yesterday when he defeated the young, super talented player Jannik Sinner in straight sets 7-6, 6-4. Yeah guys, like I predicted yesterday, not like I predicted, I thought that Sinner would win in 3 sets, which I was wrong, but I of course was not super confident in that prediction because we had 2 players who was coming in with good amount of wins in the tournament, with Hurkacz defeated 2 top 10 players in the quarters with Tsitsipas and in the semis with Andrei Rublev. And was really looked really good in this tournament. Hurkacz really defeated in his first match Kudla, which was not a big achievement to defeat Kudla. What has he done in his career? Nothing. And then he defeated in his second match Shapovalov. Not in that match was not also not a big achievement because we all know Shapovalov is a master, a big champion of defeating himself. But on the last 3 matches before this final, the last 2 matches, I should say, 3 matches, Raonic, Tsitsipas and Rublev, where Hurkacz defeated. That was impressive wins in my opinion. And then in the final, he defeated Jannik Sinner. And Jannik Sinner, on the other side, he has done a great run and done some really great comebacks against Khachanov, where he was down a set and came back and won in 3 sets. And then, of course, against RBA in the semifinals, where he was down a set and was down in the second set 3-1, and came back and won in 3 sets. So Jannik Sinner has also looked really good in this tournament and done some really great comebacks, especially against Khachanov and RBA. And particularly that one against RBA was impressive from Jannik Sinner. So we all knew that this match, of course, could have gone either way. The numbers are telling that it was a straight sets victory for Hurkacz, and he was the better player, absolutely, in my opinion. The match, he struck first in the first set, early break in that second game where Jannik Sinner served and was up in the lead 3-love in the first set. Jannik Sinner, he struck back and even the match 3-all, and then Jannik Sinner, he braked for the second time in the second set. In that 11th game, Jannik Sinner braked Hurkacz serve, and then he was trying to serve out the match in that 12th game, in that 6-5 game, Jannik Sinner, but he was broken to love. He did some really bad unforced errors in that 12th game when he was serving for the set in that 6-5 game, and was broken to love. And then Hurkacz took that first set to a tiebreak where he was the stronger one, where he was the more consistent one, and won that tiebreak 7-4 and ended that tiebreak with a really long rally. Probably the longest rally of the match. I think that rally was over 25 shots, 28 shots maybe it was, something like that. And Hurkacz won that tiebreak 7-4. He was the more cleaner player in the first set. He was the more consistent player in the first set. He was the more solid player in the first set, Hurkacz. Jannik Sinner, he just did a lot of unforced errors in the first set. I believe he did 28 unforced errors in the first set, Jannik Sinner. You cannot come away in tennis with doing so many unforced errors like Jannik Sinner did in that first set. No way. Hurkacz, he didn't do much in the first set. He did only 5 winners in that first set, but he was much cleaner. He was holding the unforced errors down. I believe he did 13 unforced errors, Hurkacz, in that first set. Jannik Sinner, 28. It is a miracle how Jannik Sinner even had a chance to serve out that first set. It is a miracle, really, considering how many errors he did. So he almost stole that first set, Jannik Sinner, considering that he was not the better player, not the cleaner player. So, and that's in the second set, Hurkacz played really good tennis, especially the first 4 games when he was a double break up and was leading the second set 4-love, and he almost was up 5-love. Actually, he had 2 breakpoint opportunities to be 5 up in the lead in that second set, Hurkacz, but somehow Jannik Sinner, he saved those 2 breakpoint opportunities against him. He had in that 5th game of the second set, and he held his serve to 1-4, and then he braked Hurkacz. It took one of the 2 breaks that he was down in that second set to 2-4, and then he held its serve to 3-4, Jannik Sinner, and then Hurkacz, he took the lead to 5-3 and he held his serve. Then Jannik Sinner, he asked the question to Hurkacz and hold his serve to 5-4 to 4-5, and then I asked the question, do you have enough good nerves to serve out your biggest title of your life? And he did, with some troubles, after being a 30-love up in the lead in that 10th game of the second set. Then Jannik Sinner came back to 30-all, but after that, Hurkacz won the last 2 points and won the match in the end with 6-4. 7-6 in the first set, 6-4 in the second set. Yeah, what can we say about the match? Look, this was a clear game plan from Hurkacz. He knew that Jannik Sinner is an aggressive baseliner, like we all know. He isn't a ball machine, Jannik Sinner. He will not wait for you to miss. He will go for his shots. He will go for the lines. He will pull the trigger. And Hurkacz, he knew this. His game plan was to be a wall. Just to wait for Jannik Sinner's unforced errors, and to squeeze unforced errors from Jannik Sinner's racket, which he did with success. He did, especially in the first set, where Jannik Sinner does 28 unforced errors. In the second set, Jannik Sinner, he takes down his unforced errors much more and does only 11 unforced errors in the second set. Jannik Sinner, all in all, Jannik Sinner does 39 unforced errors in the entire match. Majority of those unforced errors came in the first set, like I said. And Hurkacz, he was not playing any spectacular tennis, in my opinion. He was just being consistent. He was being solid. He was playing clean tennis, and he was just waiting for Jannik Sinner to do all the work, which Jannik Sinner did. So he was just trying to wait for Jannik Sinner to do all the work, to do all the unforced errors, to squeeze the unforced errors from Jannik Sinner's racket, and which he did, especially in the first set. Because, man, Hurkacz, the first winner he did when it comes to rally, not aces, the first rally winner Hurkacz does in the first set was after 56 minutes in the tiebreak. After 56 minutes, Hurkacz does his first rally winner. That says a lot. That Hurkacz, he was really passive, especially in the first set. He was really passive in the first set. In the second set, he was being more aggressive, especially coming to the net. He came to the net much more in the second set, Hurkacz. Not that he came to the net crazy many times, but at least much more than he did in the first set. And he did a little more winners in the second set. Not much more. I believe he did 5 winners in the first set, Hurkacz, and he did 8 winners in the second set. So he did little more winners in the second set, Hurkacz. All in all, Hurkacz, I believe he did 13 winners. That is not a lot. But Jannik Sinner didn't do many winners himself. He did 11 winners, I believe, Jannik Sinner in the first set, and he did, I think, only 2 winners in the second set. So Yannick Sinner also did 13 winners. Exactly the same amount of winners as Hurkacz. But the big difference was the unforced errors, man. Yannick Sinner does 39 unforced errors in total in the match. And I believe Hurkacz does between 15 to 20 unforced errors. Something like that. I don't know exactly the number. So obviously the player who was more solid, the player who was more consistent, the player who took his unforced errors down, he won the match. You know what? Hurkacz did a Novak Djokovic match. He didn't go much for his shots. He played high percentage of tennis, which Novak Djokovic is an expert of doing, Rafa Nadal as well. He was not playing tennis with small margins, Hurkacz. He played high percentage of tennis, keep the ball on court and wait for his opponent to do all the work with unforced errors. That is exactly what Hurkacz did. I think that Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal are experts of doing. But Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, to give them a huge credit, they are much more they have much better offensive skills than Hurkacz. So they go more for their shots than what Hurkacz did in this match. And that was all he needed. He didn't need more. And the other keys in the match, of course, he's a much better server than Yannick Sinner. I have not noticed that before, that Yannick Sinner actually is not a great server. He is not, guys. I said in my preview yesterday, he has a huge serve. Forget that. I was wrong. I'm the first one to admit when I'm wrong. He's not a huge server. He landed 60% of first serves in, Yannick Sinner, in this match, compared to Hurkacz, who landed 71% first serves in. So Hurkacz, he lands more first serves in than Yannick Sinner, to begin with. And then, winning points behind the first serves, there you have the biggest difference here. Hurkacz wins 69% behind his first serves. 69%. Yannick Sinner, 55%. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why. What is the indicator when you win a lot of points behind your first serves? What is the indicator? Yeah, you are the better player from the 0 to 4 shots. You are the better player. And that's why the indicator why you are winning more points behind your first serves than your opponent. If you look at the rallies from 0 to 4 shots, Hurkacz, he wins 37 points. Compare that with Yannick Sinner, 25 points. So he wins 12 more points when the points are played from 0 to 4 shots. 12 more points than Yannick Sinner. And that's why he is winning 69% behind his first serves in, compared with Yannick Sinner, who wins 55% behind his first serves in. And if you look at the points behind second serves, there Yannick Sinner is actually better. He wins 48% behind his second serves, compared with Hurkacz, who wins 35% behind his second serves. Why is that? Because Yannick Sinner, he was better player when the rallies was long, over 9 shots. He was winning more points when the rallies were over 9 shots. But guys, you don't win a tennis match by winning the longest rallies. What are the majorities of the points played in tennis? Do you know what? 67% of tennis points are played from 0 to 4 shots. 67%, guys. And the player who wins the 0 to 4 shots 7 out of 10 times. I don't want to say 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. No. I will say 7 out of 10 times the players who win the short rallies from 0 to 4 shots will win 7 out of 10 of tennis matches. And this was exactly the case in this final yesterday between Hurkacz and Yannick Sinner. Hurkacz was the much better player from 0 to 4 shots, and that's why he was winning 69% behind his first serves in, compared with Yannick Sinner, who won only 55% behind his first serves in. And Yannick Sinner, he needs to do more damage behind his serve. His serve is weak. He has time on his side. He's only 19 years old. He wins 48% behind second serves. He wins only 7% more behind his first serves. Only 7% more. The gap is just too little. The gap should be more. You cannot win 7% more behind your first serves in only compare that with winning behind second serves, only 7%. That is just too little of a gap. Compare that with Hurkacz, whose gap is much bigger. He wins 35% behind his second serves, and he wins 69% behind his first serves. That the gap is much more bigger. Compare that with Jannik Sinner, who is the gap is just this short. So Hurkacz wins this match. I will say some keys. Hurkacz wins this match. He is a much better server than Jannik Sinner. He is better returner than Jannik Sinner, at least when it comes to returning first serves. If you look at the stats in returning first serves, on winning points behind first serves, Jannik Sinner wins only 31% on return points won on first serves, compared that with Hurkacz, who wins 45% on first return points won. 45% Hurkacz wins, 31% Jannik Sinner wins. So Hurkacz does much more damage to Jannik Sinner's first serves than what Jannik Sinner does damage to Hurkacz's first serves. Why? Because Hurkacz has a much better first serve than Jannik Sinner. When you look at second point returns won, there Jannik Sinner does a better job. He wins 65% behind second serve return points won, compared with Hurkacz, who wins 52% behind second serve return points won. Why? Because, like I said, Jannik Sinner, he was winning the long rallies, and he was being aggressive on the second return. When Hurkacz was landing his second serves, he was being more aggressive, and he was taking big cuts on those second returns, on those second serves when Hurkacz was serving second serves. Compared with Hurkacz, when Jannik Sinner was serving second serves, he was pretty passive, in my opinion, and that's why Jannik Sinner did a much better job on winning points behind the second serves compared with Hurkacz. So, all in all, in my opinion, if you look at the entire match, Hurkacz was the better returner, the better server. That's why Hurkacz, he created 11 breakpoint opportunities, and he braked 4 times, compared with Jannik Sinner, who only created 3 breakpoint opportunities in the entire match, and he braked 3 times. So he was 100% on breaking serve, but he created only 3 breakpoint opportunities. Compare that with Hurkacz, who created 11 breakpoint opportunities and braked 4 times. So, keys to the match: better server, Hurkacz, much better server, much consistent player throughout the match, better shot tolerance. He was not hesitating. Hurkacz. He was waiting for the right shots when he would pull the trigger. Especially in the second set, he did some really good forehand winners. Hurkacz in the second set. In the first set, he barely did any winners at all. Like I said, only 5 winners in the first set, Hurkacz. So he had much better shot tolerance. Hurkacz than Jannik Sinner. He was much better physically. In my opinion, he looked much fresher than Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner, sometimes he looked a little fatigued out there. He looked a little outgassed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I felt that way when I watched this match. He was stronger physically. He never looked tired. Hurkacz. He moved great on the court. That was the fourth reason why he lost. Jannik Sinner. Hurkacz was much better physically, and the fifth reason, experience, guys. He's more experienced than Jannik Sinner. He's been on the tour more. He's older. He's 5 years older. Jannik Sinner, his time on his side. He has things to improve. To start with his serve. That serve needs to improve much more. He needs to improve his returns, especially returning behind, doing damage behind your opponent's first serves. I know it is not easy returning Hurkacz's first serve. He has a great first serve, but he's not any John Isner. He's not any Karlovic. He's not. He did if you count on the aces, he did only 3 aces, Hurkacz. So it was not like he was blasting aces. But and Jannik Sinner did only 1 ace in the entire match. So all in all, this Hurkacz was a much better player. Even though he won only 9 more points than Jannik Sinner. I believe Hurkacz won 78 points in the total in the match, and Jannik Sinner won 69 points. So he wins only 9 more points than Jannik Sinner. He was the better player. He was the much better player from the first point to the last point. The only time Jannik Sinner was in the lead in this match was in that 11th game in the first set when he braked Hurkacz for the second time in that first set. That was the only time he was in the lead, Jannik Sinner. Besides that, he was never on the lead. He was never in the lead in this match. Not in the beginning of the match, not in the middle of the match, not in the beginning of the second set. Never. Like I said, Jannik Sinner was in the lead only for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. That was maximum where he was in the lead in this match. So clearly, Hurkacz was the clearly better player here. He was. The only stat that I can see that he was not the better player here was where not winning points behind second serves. That was the only stat. There was the only stat where Jannik Sinner was better than Hurkacz, winning points behind second serve. That was the only stat. Nothing else, guys. Nothing else. And Jannik Sinner, 5 double faults. That is too many, man. That is too many. Some of the double faults, they came on crucial moments. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Look, man, I have not followed this Miami Open tournament. Like I've said, I have not possible to do that of other things that I have around my life. But I was not deadly impressed from Jannik Sinner's performance. I was not, guys. I was not. I thought that he will do a better match. He said that after the match, this was not my day. He has time on his side, I will not be harsh on him. He's the youngest of these young generations that we have on tennis. So he needs to improve. He needs to improve his serve. He needs to improve his returns. He needs to improve his movement. He needs to improve his feet. He needs to improve his shot tolerance. He needs to improve his cardio. He has a lot of improvements to do. And he said that himself after the match, I need to improve everything in my game. Physically, mentally, everything. And the mental part as well. He has done a great tournament. He has done some great comebacks. He has been really close of losing this tournament before the final, especially against RBA in the semifinals. But when you're serving out for the first set, like he had the chance to do, you cannot be broken to love. You cannot just give away a game like that. But we will excuse him. We will forgive him. He's young. He has not been on tour for forever time. He has not. So he has a lot of things to improve. But should we hype him? No, we should not hype him. I'm not hyping him. I said it already yesterday. I'm not hyping this dude. No, I've done this mistake before with Dimitrov and with Del Potro and with I have hyped most, and Felix. I have hyped Felix 2 years ago. I should not forget about him. So I forgot. I'm not hyping like people are saying. He's the future of tennis. Yeah, he maybe can be. He has really, really high potential. That firepower he has from both wings is really amazing to see. He can really, really do damage. But he could not hit through Hurkacz's defensive skills today. Hurkacz, man, he's bigger than Jannik Sinner, but he moves better than Jannik Sinner, especially on the backhand corners. He could not hit through Hurkacz on that backhand corner. He's such good of defending with that backhand shot, Hurkacz. So Hurkacz, he's not the I hope just not Hurkacz becomes a new Jack Sock and becomes a one-hit wonder when Jack Sock won that ATP Tour final. That Paris Masters title 4 years ago, 2017, I believe, and we have never heard about Jack Sock since then. I really hope Hurkacz doesn't become things like that, because he is a great player. Not great. He is a good player, Hurkacz. Now he will race in the top 10, 20 in the world rank. I believe he will be 16 in the world or 17 in the world, something like that, Hurkacz. And Jannik Sinner also will see a really high world ranking in his career. He will be 23. So Big congratulations to Hurkacz, a deserved winner. This was not a spectacular final. Both of these players did, I believe, more unforced errors than winners. I know that Yannick Sinner did for sure more unforced errors than winners, and Hurkacz I also believe did more unforced errors than winners. Because Hurkacz did only 13 winners in the entire match, I am pretty confident that he did more unforced errors than winners. Hurkacz as well. So this was not a spectacular final, to say the least, to see from none of these two, especially not from Yannick Sinner. But Hurkacz was just the more solid, the more cleaner, the more consistent player, and that's why he in the end won a very, very deserved champion. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Poland for getting their first Monster 1000 champion in their history. Let's see if this will be his first and his only. I don't know about that. Let's see if he will become a one-hit wonder, Hurkacz. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.